So in previous video we are finding out what is minimum Vx required uh, so that this will work as a current sink or current source. So here we can say that VDS4 greater than equals to VGS4 minus VTN. So this is basically VD sat 4 saturation voltage for M4, and VD4 greater than equals to VS4 plus VD sat 4, and this is Vx greater than equals to, now Vs4 is VGS1 plus VD sat 4. Now V VDS, if we want device in saturation, VDS should greater than equals to VGS minus VT. So you can say VD sat VD sat equals to VGS minus VT. So VGS equals to VD sat plus VT. So we will put in this equation, and we can say Vx greater than equals to VD sat 1 plus VD sat 4 plus VTN. So Vx greater than equals to 2VD sat plus VTN. So if we compare it with simple current mirror, so minimum voltage headroom required for cascode current mirror is greater than simple current mirror, so it is very high. And for simple current mirror, this Vx should be greater than VD sat only. So this is one disadvantage of cascade current mirror. So this is one disadvantage of cascade current mirror. So we have seen that in case of cascade current mirror, we are able to remove this lambda effect. We are able to make VDS for current mirrors equal, and output impedance is high as compared to simple current mirror, but minimum required voltage is higher as compared to simple current mirror. So if we compare output characteristics for both simple current mirror and this one, so say this is for cascade. So this is for cascade. Then for simple current mirror will be coming like this, and this slope will be more. One second, let me draw it properly. So because this is for simple current mirror, this is for cascade current mirror, here output resistance is RO, here output resistance is GMRO square. So output resistance, this is Vx, this is ID. So but here, for even for low Vx value, low headroom, it will start acting like a current mirror, but for cascade current mirror we need higher headroom. Okay, now suppose, say, okay, consider this cascade current mirror. So this is Vx. Now suppose we reduce Vx from say VDD to 0. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Now which device, whether it is M2 or M4, go first in linear region? So which device go in linear region first? So okay, so this is say VB. So now in this case M4 will go in linear first, then M2 go in linear. Why? Because as you are reducing this VB voltage, as you are reducing Vx voltage, uh, it is going to reduce VDS of M4, and VB remain constant, so it will go out of saturation first, and this voltage is set by current and VB. So if we assume current is constant and Vx is going down, then VDS of M4 will go down first, and after that VDS of M2 will go down, and then M2 will go in linear region. So first M4 will go in linear, then M2 will go in linear. Now other thing is uh, how to design, how to size these cascode devices. So it is good if we take higher W by L for this. W by L for 3 and 4 should be greater than W by L of 1, 2. We will size these two near threshold so that we can have small VD set for these devices, so that we can increase some Vx margin. And other thing is it will, when we take bigger size, then it has higher GM. Higher GM will give higher R out, which is GM RO square. So that's why we want to make this as a bigger size. And one more point here I would like to let you know. Here there is a possibility you will take a higher length, say 1 by 16 micro, but for matching purpose you should take W by L for this device 1 micro, but length you can take like 0.5 micro or 2 micro or 1 micro, but for making its bigger size you take multiplier M to be higher, say 8 or something like that. This is because with this, if you are taking width of these two devices same, then you can make layout properly and more meshed layout. So that is the purpose of taking same width, same finger width, but you can increase size by taking more number of fingers. And number of fingers for these devices should also be same as cascode devices, say 8, for better layout purpose. Thank you.